got a fun little lovely project here, as you can see on the north slope of our house. The myrtle is in sad condition. We've had some stuff laying on it over the winter that's about basically smushed it and killed it. So with this kind of leaf rake, what we did is we first came over here and just tried to lift everything up and rake out the leaves and the mess that was in here. This still isn't like perfect, but at least it's all been lifted up and not only raked with that rake, but then you saw the blower. So what we did was then, you know, disturbed it all, lifted it all up, and then put the blower on it to get as much of all the extra leaves and debris and everything out. So now, next piece, so this is the before. Now we're going to transplant some of our other myrtle that's doing great down here and hopefully revive it. So part one, and then we'll come back with some afters hopefully. Here's the rest of everything that came out of the myrtle. So now we're going to rake that up and get that off of the lawn. But that's quite a bit of stuff that we got out of there. So now we'll show you how to dig it out and transplant it. It's very easy. Myrtle's very forgiving and easy to just dig out a piece and start again. So here we are down at the lower part of the yard where there's plenty of myrtle growing here. We don't need all of this, and plus it fills back in. So what we're doing is just digging out plenty of starts like that. You don't have to dig very far on the roots. It's very forgiving for one thing, for the myrtle. And then also it's very viney. So it's not like it has a nice root ball like a tree or something else. So you just dig out a chunk, and we're just gonna dig a nice little hole back in here for the transplant and put it in. I will say that we are not doing this in the spring. This is kind of a little bit late in the summer. It's pretty hot right now. So thankfully it is over on the north side, so there's shade here, as you can see, most of the day, and so hopefully it's gonna take and not just die immediately. All right, so just dig not too deep of a hole, shallow, you know, enough. It doesn't require a lot of digging for this, but just enough to cover those roots. Get a little clump of it in there, and then you know, put the dirt around it, firm it back up, and then once we're done transplanting, all of the transplants are going to go all the way back up, especially up at the top where it's so dry and dead and such a mess. And then, you know, water when we're done. So, okay, another place that we're going to take this from is we've let it grow up and over the curbing that's coming out into our grass. So what we're doing is just cutting a line along the curb and then taking it back, big chunks off of the curbing, so that we can recover the grass back here a little bit, and then gonna go transplant that back. So he's gonna cut a nice straight line right into there with the shovel, and then we'll go divide it up and transplant it up there. All right, so we're working from the top down now. If some of these big chunks that we got out, they're overgrown on our grass. And you can see how bad the soil is right here, right? So it's rocky, it's compacted, it's not friendly. But the great thing about the myrtle is it will grow and thrive here and be just fine in this kind of soil. So this is something great to put in right here. It stays green all year, even in the winter. So this is a good use for this kind of soil. And also you don't have to dig very far down to root it. So